place to use a hook headline you may never have even thought of. Hey guys, Jim Edwards here, and welcome back to the beach. Being on the beach with Jim. So again, let me know if you can hear me down below. It's a little windy. But I had somebody ask in the group the other day, hey Jim, what's your formula, what's your framework for creating a chapter for a book? And I thought it was obvious, but apparently it was not. So here's the framework for creating a chapter in my book, at least the book Copywriting Secrets. Basically have a really good hook headline as the chapter title. Then you have a quote that supports the main idea of the chapter. Then you tell a story that illustrates how you learned it or earned it or just reinforces the main idea of the chapter. Just to show you, I'm by the beach. I'm by the beach. You tell the story, then you teach whatever that chapter is, and then you summarize the chapter. That was the formula, the framework that I used for the Copywriting Secrets book. But the biggest thing to keep in mind is the very first thing, which was the chapter headline hook. And that's why I think people really don't understand that headlines and hooks are all around us, or they should be. Because I want you to think about when you browse a book, and if you're an author or you're planning on being an author, or if you've ever written a book and didn't sell as many as you wanted to, here's a little tip that might even make you go back and change your book. And that is, every chapter needs to have a headline hook that grabs people's attention and makes them go, holy crap, I need to know more about that. Now there's a couple reasons why. Number one, it impacts sales, and number two, it impacts consumption. Let's talk about number one first. So how does it impact sales? Well, when you're looking at a book on Amazon and you look inside the book, what do you typically do? I don't know about you, but I typically look at the chapters and the table of contents. And what that is basically your chance to use the titles of your chapters as ads for why people should buy the book. Because as they read down these things, and if they're boring, crappy titles for your chapters, that's the same as having boring, crappy headlines. But if they're intriguing, if they're great hooks, if they're thought-provoking, if they're curiosity-invoking, all of a sudden, what's going to happen? People are going to want to buy the book so that they can find out what's in those chapters. And the second part is consumption. Here, I'm going to turn around and walk back this way. Consumption, getting people to read your damn book. Because if people buy your book and never read it, they don't get the benefit, and you ultimately don't get the benefit. Because if your book's any good, you want people to read it. So, by having those chapters, it causes people to consume because it creates curiosity. Once they own the book, they want to read based on the chapter titles. And if you create your chapters based on that framework I just told you, it's going to massively increase their ability to get results when they read. So, what's the moral of this little tip? The biggest thing you can do when it comes to writing a book, publishing a book, is making sure that you don't do what most people do, which is to get lazy with your chapter titles. Look at each one of those chapter titles as a headline you can use to get people to buy your book. And there are a couple ways that you can get really good at creating those titles. Number one, you can buy Copywriting Secrets. My Copywriting Secrets book will show you how to write headlines, will teach you about bullets, teach you about curiosity. And number two, go grab funnel scripts. If you don't have funnel scripts, or if you don't have the Jim Edwards Method Premium, or if you don't have Author Wizards, all three of those have tools in them, not the identical tools, but all three of them have tools in them that can help you to do what I've just talked about. So I'm Jim Edwards. Remember, don't squander the opportunity to hook somebody, especially when it comes to your chapter titles, but anything you're doing. Pay attention to everything from the titles of your Facebook Lives, to your articles, to anything where you're giving somebody a one-liner that describes something or is designed to get them to dig deeper. That's a hook. And that means you need to use great sales copy techniques to get the most benefit for you and for them. So I'm Jim Edwards. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, whether you think this is cool or whether you think I'm full of crap on the beach. I'm cool either way. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.